Okay, so phase one of AdWords direct response was all about setting up a profitable AdWords campaign from the start. It was about doing the proper base keyword research, doing the proper keyword research with keywords tool, as well as writing effective ad copy. Now, phase two is all about improving that campaign once it reaches over 1,000 clicks. Because after 1,000 clicks, you're gonna have a lot of data and numbers to play with, a lot of things to analyze. And if you know what to look for, it's gonna be very easy for you to make the appropriate changes to improve the performance of the campaign, drive the costs down, improve your click-through rates, improve your conversions, etc. It's going to be systematic for you. You're not going to have to guess. You're not going to have to rely on hunches or extensive split testing. You're going to be able to just come in, look at the numbers, and make very sound, effective improvements. So this campaign here I've set up a while ago for our what was our fictional body weight fitness course. I set it up for that a while ago. As you can see, some of the same keywords: build muscle, strength training, full body workout, gain muscle, get stronger, and all those things that describe what our product is and what our product does and the benefits. So these are now their own ad groups, as you can see. Each keyword is its own ad group, and there's these are the numbers on the campaign. It was over 1,000 clicks, 58,000 impressions, nearly 2% click-through rate, and 17 cents per click in a pretty competitive market. This is the fitness market, so the keywords are fairly competitive. So let's go ahead and look at these keywords now. So first, let's just look at some of the things inside this, I guess, interface and what some of these things mean. Because I'm not gonna talk about everything inside your AdWords account, because you can easily look that up inside your own AdWords account. There's good instructions and there's more details inside the actual ebooks themselves. So let's just look at the most important ones you need to be looking at once your campaign reaches 1,000 clicks. So each ad group has its own stat, and let's start with the clicks themselves. This is obviously how many clicks each ad group got. I've clicked on this column here to make the make the ad groups appear from the most clicks to the least clicks. Next, you have the amount of impressions, your click-through rate, so the amount of times somebody clicked versus the amount of times your ad was displayed. That's your click-through rate, and your average cost per click, the overall cost of what that cost you, so all of the clicks, how much they cost you overall, and your average position when your ad is displayed. So you can see our ads performed fairly well, and some of them not so well. You have here ones with under 2%, over 3%, right at 2%, around 1%. There's one below 1%, and then there's ones that are a bit higher, as well as obviously with 0 impressions, 0 clicks. So let's now talk about the first thing we can do to increase our performance, and that is we can eliminate low-performing keywords. So what you're gonna have to do is go through each ad group and look at all the keywords that it's made up of and eliminate the low performers. So we're gonna do the one with the highest clicks, build muscle. Okay, just a quick note in here, I noticed something. As we analyze the keywords, you'll notice right beside the keyword column, there's a status column, and it says that our site has been suspended. So this is one of the almost inevitable things that are going to happen to you once you're on AdWords long enough, is sometimes your sites will get suspended for various reasons. This was our test site for the fictional bodyweight fitness course, and the reason it got suspended was just because the domain name expired. I haven't checked on it for maybe almost close to a year, so domain name expired and no longer points anywhere, and well, it's suspended. But when this happens to you, It'll usually be able to give you a quick reason on why. This is because it points to a URL that has been suspended for site policy. When this happens to you, it's going to be kind of a pain to get your website back. You're going to have to get on the phone with Adwords and ask them exactly which policies your website is not meeting, then make changes to your website, then have them review it for a week or two, and then you'll be able to get your website back. But yeah, so when you see something like this, it definitely sucks, but it's a pretty common thing with sites getting suspended on AdWords, and it's actually not that hard to get your website back live on AdWords, unless of course you were selling something highly forbidden or illegal or something like that in the first place. But yeah, it's funny, I included a bonus as part of this package called AdWords Friendly, and it talks exactly about how to avoid this situation happening. And here we have the build muscle keywords by clicks. So you can see here that there's quite a few keywords, and a lot of them have really good click-through rates and some of them not so good click-through rates. So let's go to the ones that have the best click-through rates. Let's assemble them by click-through rates, because this is going to be the biggest indicating factor of how well your keyword is performing. Unless it's getting conversions with a low click-through rate, you're gonna have to look at the ones with the lowest click-through rates and just get rid of them, because they're driving the performance of your campaign down and your cost per click up overall. That's really how it works with AdWords. Higher performance is rewarded. So let's assemble them by click-through rate and go down the list of the worst ones. Of course, you have here the best ones with costing fairly low. Most of them are below 20 cents. Some of them are above, as you can see here, but they're performing well. But as we go down the list, we will see that the click-through rate, our column right here, the percentage, will go down. And right about as we get to below, or right about at 1%, we start to see the ones that are not really performing too well. And the rule I go by when deleting low-performing keywords is I tend to delete, and this is kind of what I've learned over the years a lot, even through reading other people's guides as I was learning and reading articles and hearing some of the experts talk about what they do. And I delete or pause the keywords that have over 100 impressions and 0 clicks, and I delete or pause the keywords that have over 200 impressions and under 1% click-through rates. So here you have something with 100 impressions and 1 click. So I'm gonna let that stay for a bit. But then you have something here which has 527 impressions, 5 clicks only, and 23 cents per click. So not only is it performing low, but it's also costing more than the other clicks. Here you have the same example. They're all costing more. This one is, I guess, pretty cheap still, so we might want to keep it around. But in general, I will just go ahead and at least pause all of these keywords. I will just go through and pause all of them, because the low performers are tending to, here you have 30 cents per click. The low performers tend to drive down your performance and not really do much good for your campaign. And as soon as you pause them and get rid of them, your campaigns and your ad groups and your individual ads, click-through rates will go up. The clicks will increase as the cost will go down. So you will actually be able to afford more clicks for your budget. And that is the first thing you should do to improve your campaign's performance, is go down the list of each ad group's keywords and just pause the low performers that are either getting very low click-through rates of below 1% and ones that are just in general driving your costs up. Like again, the 30-cent one, and these ones aren't getting anything, but they're not getting much impressions either. But this one is about losing fat, so we're not gonna keep that one anyways. So that is what you do. And as always, you should check the ebook itself for more details on how to go about implementing this strategy.